Yirmeyahu chapter 48. Concerning Moab, this is what Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, said. Woe to Nevo, for it is ravaged. Kiriathaim is put to shame, captured. The high stronghold is put to shame and broken down. There is praise for Moab no longer. In Heshbon they have devised evil against her. Come, and let us cut it off as a nation. O madmen, you are also cut off, a sword goes after you. Listen, an outcry from Horonaim, ravaging and great destruction. Moab shall be destroyed, her little ones shall cry. For on the ascent of Luchith they go up weeping bitterly. For in the descent of Horonaim the enemies shall hear a cry of destruction. Flee, deliver your own lives, and be like a bush in the wilderness. For because you have trusted in your works and your treasures, you shall be captured. And Chemosh shall go forth into exile, his priests and his heads together. And a ravager shall come into every city, no one escapes. And the valley shall perish, and the plain be destroyed, as Yahweh has spoken. Give wings to Moab, for she has to flee away, and her cities become a ruin, with no one to dwell in them. Cursed is he who is slack in doing the work of Yahweh, and cursed is he who withholds his sword from blood. Moab has been at ease from his youth, and he has settled on his dregs, and has not been emptied from vessel to vessel, nor has he gone into exile. Therefore his flavor has stayed in him, and his fragrance is unchanged. Therefore see, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I shall send him tilters, who shall tilt him over and empty his vessels and break the bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed because of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Beit El, their refuge. How do you say, we are mighty and strong men for battle? Moab is ravaged, and her cities have been entered, and her chosen young men have gone down to the slaughter, declares the Sovereign, whose name is Yahweh of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hurries fast. Lament for him, all you who are around him, and all you who know his name, say, how the strong scepter has been broken, the staff of splendor. Come down from your esteem, and sit in thirst, O inhabitant daughter of Divon. For the ravager of Moab shall come against you, he shall destroy your strongholds. Stand by the way and watch, O inhabitant of Aruer. Ask him who flees, and her who escapes. Say, what has been done? Moab has been put to shame, for it has been broken down. Howl and cry. Let it be heard in Arnon that Moab is ravaged. And judgment has come on the plain country, on Holon, and on Yatzah, and on Mophaath, and on Divon, and Nevo, and on Beit Divlathaim, and on Kiriathaim, and on Beit Gamul, and on Beit Meon, and on Kirioth, and on Botzra, and on all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. The horn of Moab has been cut off, and his arm has been broken, declares Yahweh. Make him drunk, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Moab shall splash in his vomit, and he shall also be in mockery. And was not Israel a mockery to you? Was he found among thieves? For whenever you speak of him, you shake your head. O inhabitants of Moab, leave the cities and dwell in the rock, and be like the dove making a nest in the sides of the cave's mouth. We have heard of the pride of Moab, he is very proud, of his loftiness and arrogance and pride, and of the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, declares Yahweh, and his boastings are untrue, and his deeds are false. Therefore I wail for Moab, and I cry out for all Moab. I mourn for the men of Kir Cherez. O vine of Sivma, I weep for you with weeping of Yazer. Your branches have passed over the sea, they have come to the sea of Yazer. The ravager has fallen on your summer fruit, and your grape harvest. Joy and gladness have been taken away from the orchard, and from the land of Moab. And I have made wine to cease from the winepresses. No one treads with shouting, the shouting is no shouting. From the outcry of Heshbon unto Elaleh, unto Yahatz, they shall raise their voice from Toa to Horonaim, like a 3-year-old heifer, for even the waters of Nimrim are dried up. And I shall make an end in Moab to him who offers in the high places, and burns incense to his mighty ones, declares Yahweh. So my heart sounds for Moab like flutes, and my heart sounds for the men of Kir Cherez like flutes. Therefore the wealth they have made shall be gone, for every head is bald, and every beard clipped, cuts on all the hands, and sackcloth on the loins, on all the housetops of Moab, and in its streets. It is all lamentation, for I have broken Moab like a vessel in which no one delights, declares Yahweh. How has she been broken down? They shall wail. How has Moab turned her back with shame? So Moab shall be a mockery and a horror to all those about her. For thus said Yahweh, See, he soars like an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kirioth shall be captured, and the strongholds seized. And the heart of the mighty men in Moab on that day shall be like the heart of a woman in labor. And Moab shall be destroyed as a people, because he has made himself great against Yahweh. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon you, O inhabitant of Moab, declares Yahweh. He who flees from the fear falls into the pit, and he who gets out of the pit is caught in the snare. For I am bringing upon Moab the year of their punishment, declares Yahweh. Those who fled stood powerless under the shadow of Heshbon, but a fire shall come out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sichon, and consume the brow of Moab, and the crown of the head of the sons of uproar. Woe to you, O Moab! The people of Chemosh have perished, for your sons have been taken into exile, and your daughters into exile. But I shall turn back the captivity of Moab in the latter days, declares Yahweh. Thus far is the judgment of Moab.